Yes. All right, cool. Let's get this show underway. Let's talk about Married at First Sight. It's been another mad episode. Married at First Sight, UK. Well, let me turn my TV down. I'm sure you guys can probably hear my thing going. Hold on 2 seconds. Alright. Cool. Alright, cool. So we're talking about Married at First Sight, episode 12, the recent episode just aired now. There's a lot to talk about, but specifically, just like the other episode we spoke about, Morag is doing my rag in. Morag, listen, no beef personally, but I'm getting a little bit annoyed about the way that you're dealing with certain situations, okay? Now, we had, obviously, Ant and Alexis. They have a whole situation where Ant and Alexis, I'm going to be honest with you, Ant, you're not on it, yeah? You're not on it, yeah? And what's annoying me is, when you're not on it, you are saying friendly. Friendly isn't really on it. Why did you come back if you're not on it? It doesn't even make sense. You went away. Why did you go away if you're not on it? I just don't get it. Like, you're not on feeling Alexis. It's okay. Don't come back to the show, but you did. Therefore, I need to expect more from you than just being friendly. It's not enough. It's not okay, and we're not accepting it. All right, cool. Then we had Morag and Luke. Luke, listen. Your chick don't want you. Morag don't really want you. She's not healed enough to see you as an actual genuine prospect. Okay? Men and women, when they are broken, they struggle to see good partners. When women and men are broken, they find it very difficult to see healthy partners. Okay? So she's not going to be able to see him until she is healed. Okay? It is what it is. Okay. Then we had Amy and Josh. I'm just breaking them down real quick and then we're going to go deeper into every couple. We had Amy and Josh. Okay, the thing with Amy situation here is that the main focus was obviously around the situation where he wasn't being emotionally open and emotionally available, which I totally get. He wasn't doing that and his maturity level seemed a little bit low. Not only that, as well, they had to deal with the whole situation coming with Morag, where Morag decided to tell Amy that you wanted to say that Josh was an F-boy when this happened a couple of years ago. Darling, you are moving mad. But we'll discuss that a little bit later. We discussed that a lot with last episode. Marilise and Franklin. Frankie, I want you to hear me very correctly. Frankie, for watching this. You're controlling. And if you don't heal, you're going to be a very dangerous partner. If you don't heal, frankly, you're going to be a very dangerous partner. How can you tell your partner, don't speak when I'm speaking? How can we happily accept that as normal conversation, sir? I know you apologized, but you only apologized because you saw how she was affected. But sir, it should have never come out your mouth in the first place. Okay? Now, it's actually slightly different. From the Frankie situation, telling her to keep quiet is very different from the Josh situation, telling Amy to be quiet, and I'll explain why the two of them are very, very different. All right, cool. Then we had Bob and Megan. I mean, we already know about Bob and Megan. They're not meant to be together. It's just that simple. Megan hates Bob's guts and is trying to be a friend, and she can't even really do that. She's not on it. She doesn't want him. She's not vibing with it. That is not her kind of man. And the letter that they read out on a dinner table was perfect. Now, here's a problem with Bob. Bob is trying to hang on to this girl by a thread, and he doesn't realize by hanging on to this girl, you are delaying the inevitable Armageddon that's coming your way. Sir, she don't like you. She don't like you. She don't text. All right, cool. And then we had Adam and Tyra. Listen, I think they're great. I think they're amazing. I can see why they took offense to Amy's comment about certain couples are fake. We'll discuss that as we go on. But I like Adam and I like Tyra. I loved how Adam also got involved with Bob and, told him basically, I love you, bro. But, listen, brother, fix up. Fix up quick and fast because you're moving mad. And I love that he said that. Okay. All right, cool. let's get the show underway. Let's talk about some real things. By the way, if you want to have your say, you want to come on and discuss Married at First Sight, if you watched it, just send me a request. I will bring you on and we can discuss more about the episode. All right, cool. So let me first start off with Ant and Alexis, okay? Now, first of all, let me just say this. Ant, I got no problem with Ant. I like Ant. Okay? I love his energy. And I appreciate the fact that he got hurt with Nikita. But the brother is suffering PTSD, emotional PTSD from the relationship with Nikita. Okay? The brother is experiencing emotional PTSD from the relationship with Nikita because the way he's treating Alexis makes no sense. Sir, why did you decide to get angry and get aggressive and raise your tone and raise your voice to Alexis when she was saying to you that I don't think you're actually being honest with yourself? And the truth of the matter is, friendly is not honest. You are not feeling her anymore. Why would you come back on the show if you weren't feeling her? No. I want you to deep it, Ant. I like you, Ant. I do. I like your energy. You're a lad's lad. You defend the boys. You make sure your boys are good. I'm with you. But what I'm saying to you is, why did you come back on the show knowing you weren't feeling her no more? To come back and say, friendly, you've come, and what you don't realize is, by doing that, you've embarrassed her again. By doing that, you've come on and you've embarrassed her again. Why would you come on the show and you know you don't like her? You got off the show. You had a little flirt with Alexis. You should have left it there. But when she asked you to come forward, you came forward. You wanted to come back onto the show. You wanted to be back in the process. You could have done this without the process. Right? You two could have made it work without being back in the process. So all the chat that you were doing, talking about, we. And I was saying this on the episode, when I watched the last episode, he was talking about, we want to be back in the process. We want to do this. We want to do this. We want to do this. Everything was we. Wasn't that we? So I get it. So you were trying to bring the whole unison thing with you and also Alexis now, right? Which is great. But the problem is when you've come back now, all of a sudden when you're being challenged on what you actually feel towards this girl, suddenly you're getting your back against the wall and you got angry. You actually raised your voice in a certain way, and I was like, this girl was. Let me tell you something. Listen, I'm not always Alexis' bigger fan because the way she communicates sometimes is very. But my girl was actually being patient with you. She was talking calmly to you. She was trying to express how she felt. And then you suddenly raised your voice, raised your tone, as if she was coming at you when she was asking you questions. And this is not acceptable. Not acceptable in terms of that you being violent on the thing. It's unacceptable because what you're not being truthful about is the reason why your back's against the walls, because you're not feeling her. And you're being questioned. And when you're being questioned, you know you're not telling the full truth. Right? I'm going to need you, and I'm going to need you to come clean and be true. You're not feeling Alexis, and it's okay. But let's stop the charade. You had your 15 minutes of fame. Let's get off the show. Okay? Because you didn't have to come back. You could have stayed outside and tried to make this work, and if it didn't work, it wouldn't have been embarrassing. But you brought her back to this show, or agreed at least to come back to the show to embarrass her? Come on, sir. Come on. Now, I don't know the full story. Maybe Alexis wanted to come back and he didn't want to come back. Maybe that's also a story there. If that's the case, we can talk about that later on. But I'm just saying how the optics look right now, Ant. Okay? All right? I feel you in defending, I feel you also in the area of trying to defend Josh. I get it. Why you're doing it? You're a lad's lad. You're boys. You like to be part of the lads. And I get it why you're defending Josh. But that level of energy that you were defending Josh with is emotional PTSD. What I mean by that? You emotionally were feeling some type of way about Morag because it reminds you of Nikita. Okay? That level of dismissiveness and that level of vindictiveness, that level of, not caring, not treating a good guy right. I felt in that moment when you rose up and stood up on the table to defend Josh, it was less about Josh and more about you feeling a way about them type of women. Do you know what I'm saying? And listen, I don't get it twisted. Listen, I don't like Morag's energy at all, but I can see that, sir, the way you got frustrated, the way you got angry, the way you were talking about Morag, when you had no leg to stand on because you ain't perfect. And when I say not perfect, I mean in the sense of you yourself have not sorted out your position with Alexis in your relationship. You should have been, you should have been, you should have been, you should have been, you know what I'm saying? But you were here running your tongue, and I'm like, why? And that's what I saw, what Alexis saw, which is, how come you're putting so much energy into the situation with Morag and Josh? That's not your relationship. You got so much energy for Morag, but you ain't got it for your own relationship. That's why Alexis was getting frustrated, and I can see that. I was frustrated too. I was like, why are you getting so stressed about Morag? Your own relationship, you haven't sorted it out. Go and sort your own out before you start talking the way you're talking with all energy and strength. You're acting as if Josh couldn't handle Morag. Josh is well equipped to deal with women like Morag. He even dealt with Nikita better than you did. He don't need your help, and you know that. The way he dealt with Nikita when she was popping off on the table, Josh, he don't need help from you to deal with Morag. Trust me, he don't need it. Okay, all right. So, it's a situation where, like, honestly, it's all about making sure that, listen, and if you're gonna be, talking the largest, make sure if you're talking the largest that you've got your thing sorted. Hold on, I need to get my charger of my phone. Hold on 2 seconds. Too late. All right, cool. Hold on 2 seconds. Hey. Oh my days. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm breaking everything. I'm breaking everything. Jesus is Lord. I'm breaking everything. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm breaking everything. All right, cool. Here we go. Fantastic. All right, cool. All right, cool. Yes. So, so Ultima. Okay. So Ultima and well, let me tell this light because the light's a bit freaky dick. Ultima and what's her name? Alexis. Yeah. So, someone sent me a request. Okay, if you're sending me a request, we're talking about Married at First Sight UK, please, we're not doing it any... See what you're saying, innit? Get me. Let me add someone on. But, yeah, Ant and Alexis, it's my problem with Ant was just his energy. It's like, bro, you don't need to do all that. You're doing too much. Anyway, cool. Let's talk about a little bit about Amy. Oh, no, I want to say Amy and Justin last. Marilise and Frankie. I want to talk about Marilise and Frankie. So, Marilise and Frankie, yeah? Frankie. See, bro, you could have got away with a lot of this stuff. When I say got away, I mean in the sense of, we wouldn't have called you, you know what, you could have, people have been calling you controlling for a long time, yeah? But today, if you wanted to prove that you're not controlling, today you didn't do it. If you wanted to prove that you are not a controlling person, that you don't just allow, you don't just control women and, don't see things in a misogynistic type of way, today would have been not the day to prove it. When you, look, the whole letter situation was problematic. The letter's going on, and you are insulting the person, saying they're uneducated, they don't know what they're talking about, they're whatever you were saying. Okay, there were so many different things. It was just the energy he brought to the table, basically, yeah. And when he tried to even draw out Morag, when he was like, oh, who wrote this then, or whatever, right? And I think Morag said something, and he said, oh, was it you then? And she was like, no. And he was like, I was only having a bubble, babe, calm down. And I said, in your joking, that's where you're aggressive, passively aggressive. You're dangerous. Frankie, if you're listening to me, hear me correctly. Come to me, let me coach you on some of that. You need to obviously have some therapy. Let me help you in this area, because you're moving mad. Honestly, you're moving mad. No, 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 you're moving mad. And what's mad about it is that you said something after, when I speak, don't speak. And when she said she wanted to talk to you, you clocked what you said was mad. You clocked it, right? You clocked it. Here's the thing. You need healing. ASAP Rocky, this relationship is not for you. You will hurt this girl. You will hurt Marilise. You need therapy ASAP Rocky. If you're friends with Marilise, your friend of Frankie, please send this part to them. At them, send them the link to them. Let him see this part. Frankie, listen to me very carefully, sir. It is not only this comment that makes people feel that you are controlling, that you're misogynistic in your ways. I want to take it back to the very beginning, okay? The very beginning, okay, very beginning, all right, of the show. When you were talking with Marilise, the energy you were using when you were talking about how you couldn't wait for her to fall off the board, right? You couldn't wait for her to fall off the board. You couldn't wait to do a task where you would beat her at it. I was just like, what the frick is going on? Why is this guy doing this? You know, and then you talked about how, you know, in fact, you know, you're great. It's the Lake District because then you can do things that you're gonna able to beat her at, and then, you know, the dinner situation as well. You know, when the dinner situation happened, and you know, when you wanted to cook the dinner, when she said, "Oh, can I get a drink?" and you was like, "Hold on, wait," like, you know, and basically you want to do everything on your time. You want to do everything on your move. You want to do everything at your pace. And now you add this part on. Not only that as well, before that, the way that you're guarded about your relationship, and it doesn't seem to be a mutual thing. Marilise is going on alongside with it, but it's not necessarily mutual. She's going along with it. There's a difference, okay? All right? And you're intentionally blocking people from knowing the relationship because you don't like embarrassment. Anything you feel like you're doing wrong, you don't want to be embarrassed about it. But we all do things that are wrong. Yeah? Yes, exactly. And then she had to go to another room to sleep. Exactly. Black power and love. Absolutely. Right? So you're doing things, okay? You're doing things that are not showing you in the best light. And then today is absolutely out of line and confirms everything we have said in just a few words. Don't speak when I'm speaking, and you meant it. And you meant it. Okay? It wasn't a slip. You meant it. You only regret saying it in public, but you meant it. You only regret that you said it in front of cameras, but you meant it. Right? You don't regret saying it. You regret saying it in public because you are broken. I get it. You've probably been in some very harsh places. You've been into war. You've been into battle. I hear you, okay? But you need to get healed then, right? You don't need to be in a relationship. You need healing. You need therapy because Marilise cannot save you. Her good nature will be taken advantage by your bad nature right now. She can't save you. Okay, she cannot save you. She cannot therapize you. She cannot heal you. Okay, and because of that, you need to go and get therapy. ASAP Rocky, stay away from the relationship and get into therapy. Here's why you stay away from the relationship oftentimes is because you're not, I know you're married. I know you're married. I know you're married, all right? I know you're married, but they're not legally married. In the show, in the UK one, they're not legally married per se. So you don't have to stay here. What you need to do is get yourself a therapist or a counselor and start talking through your problems ASAP Rocky. Do you know why? Because Marilise will do something else that will trigger you even in your healing process if it's too soon. If any of you have ever been injured with a muscular injury, like right now, I've done my ligaments in on my knee, right? And if I exert too much force on this muscle, it goes again, right? So even though I'm healing, even though I'm in the process of healing my leg, if I exert too much pressure on the leg goes again. So that is you right now. If you get exerted too much pressure in a relationship, Marilise says something wrong. She does something wrong that you don't like. It's exerting pressure on you. What are you going to do in that moment? You're going to do what you're trained to do. So you need healing outside of this relationship. You need to leave Marilise alone and go and heal. Okay? Leave her alone. A time or period of separation, go and heal. If it's meant to be, you come back. But you need to go, separate, go and heal. Okay? I'm not even talking about divorce. Go and separate, heal. There's a time and period for wilderness. Okay? Everybody needs a wilderness period in their life. But when you're in the process where you're broken, you need to go and heal. You need a process of wilderness. Go and heal. We don't want you going to say, my wife is a lid. My wife is a cat. My wife is, you know, the most amazing one. She's expansive because she's forgiven me of all the sins I've done. Let's not wait to that point where we're doing John Gray. No offense to John Gray, by the way, if he watches this. No offense to him. I'm just saying, we don't want that. We don't need it. We don't accept it. All right? We don't. All right? There's none of that stuff about, feel for me because, I've gone through hardship. I don't care. Right? It's not an excuse. We're not using it anymore. I've been through hard things. I've seen hard things. I've been brought up in a hard life. I don't care. Because when you start hurting people, it is not, the excuse doesn't wash. You're hurting the person. You feel me? So you're not going to use that as an excuse. Go and heal. My favorite word to you is go sit on the bench, heal. Sit on the bench, heal. Okay? All right, cool. Thank you very much. We've done Frankie and Marilise. Also to Marilise as well, just want to say this as well. I think you're kind of seeing it now. I think you're seeing it for yourself. I think you're starting to know that, you're starting to see the real Frankie, who he is. Okay? I think you can start to see the red flags that are flaring up. Sis, I need you, Marilise. I know you're not going to quit it straight away, but I need you now to be on red alert. Okay? And as you said yourself, the next one, you're out. What I need from Marilise is this. Just as you said, do. Don't just be a hearer of these red flags, be a doer of these red flags. You want to say? That's scripture, baby. Don't be just a hearer of the word, but be a doer. Don't be like the man that goes in front of the mirror, sees his reflection and forgets it. Don't just hear the red flags, but be a doer of the red flag. When you see it happening to you, you act upon it. You don't just sit there and say, until next time. Yeah? Don't do that, right? You've seen enough red flags as it is. Let's move. All right, cool, fantastic. Bob and Megan. Okay, Bob and Megan. Here's the thing about Bob and Megan that's really interesting about Bob and Megan. Bob and Megan, the letter came out and people said their truths, right? And Bob's issue right now is he's defending a woman who doesn't want him, number one. Number two, Bob doesn't see the reality of what the situation really is. Old girl is sticking with you because of TV, or she's sticking with you because she doesn't want you the bad guy. Got nothing to do with you. She already told you earlier on she's only staying because of you. She ain't staying because she wants to. That's different. You heard that earlier on and you forgot it and you refused to accept it. She said she's staying with you because of you, not because of how she feels, but because of you. And then in this letter that came about, you wanted to defend her in these moments, all right? This situation, okay, Bob, hear me out, Bob. You're a nice guy, and that's your problem. You're a nice guy, not a good guy. See, a good guy will know this can't run. A good guy will know his value. A good guy knows his worth. A good guy knows what he can and cannot take. Listen, you only forgiven her, but you haven't really forgiven her. You're giving her another chance because, like I said, I think you think she's a worldie and she's a baddie. And so now, even when people are telling you that they have a different view of Megan and what she did to you, you're still trying to defend her because you want to salvage whatever's left of your relationship. What the heck? What? You want to salvage whatever's left of the relationship. What are you salvaging? What are you salvaging, sir? What are you salvaging? Whatever's left of your relationship is done. It's finished. And it's not because she kissed someone else. It's because she don't want you. That's why it's done. It's finished. But you're defending her, okay, is giving her more ammunition to do you dirty in the future, baby. Oh, and that is why your friend Adam had enough. He said, you know what? I had enough. Get out. If you want to know, get out. Right? And this is the problem. Adam could see that Bob wasn't living up to his value. Bob wasn't living up to his worth. Bob wasn't living up to his statute. No. He was living up to a status that was well beneath him. In fact, he actually corrected the letter by saying, actually, she's more than, she's actually more than enough for me. Why don't you shut up there, Bob, and just listen to what they're saying at the moment? They're saying that you're better than this. But you wanted to tell them, no, I'm not better than this. Why? Because you don't understand your worth. You didn't really fully deep your value. Okay? If this woman's not really trying, bro, she's not trying. She didn't like you before this whole kiss situation. She don't like you after. Like, nothing's changed, bro. So unless you're aiding her acting career, I don't know why you're here. I don't know why you're there. Unless you're aiding her acting career because she's an actor, unless you're aiding her acting career, I don't know why you're there. And even then, you are sacrificing your dignity to give her the opportunity to act. Can you imagine? It's not looking good. It's not looking good, Bob. Right? To the point where your friend Adam is pissed off. The guy said he's had enough. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. Okay? All right? I want to finish on Amy and Josh. I want to say this. Morag, where was it your place to decide to tell Amy that her man DM'd her? Did anybody hear a suitable reason as to why Morag told Amy that her current husband, who at the time was single, messaged her? What? Because you feel like what? You think he's a player when he messaged you a year ago or more on DMs? Oh my days. And that, what's your excuse? And then you try to backtrack when you were getting questioned by both Amy and Josh as to the reasoning why you did it. Darling, you couldn't even hold strength. You couldn't even hold position. You know? She even said, she replied, there you go. I honestly think Morag wanted to step out for Josh. I think this is a problem. I think Morag sees Josh as her type. And there's a small part of her that wanted to mash up Amy's relationship. And hopefully that she could sneak in. A small part of her. I'm not going to say it's everything. I'm going to say a small part of her. She's not happy in her relationship, so she's got to make everybody else miserable. There's no reason as to why you release the information about Josh. Right? I think you find Josh attractive. I think you want him. I think, and you know what? Josh is somebody who's so scary how emotionally devoid Josh is, right? That he so calmly wrote Morag into admitting that this was her intention was to paint him out as an F-boy, which is her type. Okay? Now, here's my little things I got to say. Okay? I want to come back into that point, right? I want to come back onto the Morag and Josh situation in a second. I want to talk about Amy for a second. Amy, I appreciate you. I like you. I know you wanted to defend Josh. But just before that point, Amy, you just went over the edge. Okay? Listen, I get it that Morag and some of the others said some things that were not nice about Josh and your relationship, right? But for you to sit there and say that some people are sitting here and they don't really tell the truth about their relationship and not be specific, it wrote in Adam and Tyre, and you could have killed that. You could have easily said to them, I really wasn't talking about you. I definitely wasn't mentioning you. I mean other people, right? But you didn't even really want to do that. You didn't really want to clear up. You wanted to basically say F everybody. And here it is. You're still hurting and you're still broken. You're still hurting and you're still broken. You're still hurting and you're still broken. Because there was no need for you to at everybody. And when Adam and Tyre come towards you and tell you something, you then want to also make sure that you don't want to clear things up with them. You wanted to keep the illusion that it could be them, but it isn't them. And instead of clearing it up and saying to them right there, no, it definitely wasn't you two. Honestly, I think you two are amazing. The rest of the group, you didn't want to do that, right? And so the reason why you want to do that, because You're not satisfied in your relationship right now. It's not going the way you want it to go right now. Josh isn't giving you what you want exactly. And instead of you being truthful, you want everyone to sit in the misery that you were sitting in as well. Why? It wasn't even Tyre who even said anything like crazy. So you coming at Adam and Tyre like that, sis, chill. Like, Ant was even backing you, but he said the way she went about it. Yes, because the way she went about it was like, I'm taking on everybody. And it's like, no, just take on those who you need to take on, which was Morag, right? Have that energy for Morag and Morag alone. No one else. No one else came and said anything about Josh, that he was DMing him or whatever. It was Morag. If you're frustrated, be frustrated with Morag. Don't be frustrated with everybody else. Don't throw the dirt on everybody else, because you're going to lose your support and you're going to lose your friendships because you couldn't keep your emotions down. You feel me? Okay? All right? And so you were saying too many things about everyone, and it's not necessary. Okay? What I would say is this. She wanted to defend the situation with her, Josh, and Morag, right? And Josh said, listen, keep quiet, and then told her to shut up, right? Now, the reason why he told her to do that, I don't actually agree with the shut up, right? And I think that's where he needs to learn how to address people even when you're frustrated, because that's unacceptable. Tell her to shut up, tell her to shut the F up, unacceptable terms you use on your partner. I want you to hear me very, very clearly. To tell your partner to shut up and shut the F up are unacceptable ways to communicate in your relationship. It borderlines verbally being abusive to your partner. You never address your partner in this way. Now, I can understand if it was literally a life and death situation and she was going to say something that's literally going to blow you lot up. I can understand because it just needs to be quick. But it wasn't that situation. You were annoyed, Josh, that Morag had called you out in a certain way, and you wanted to defend your reputation. I get it. I'm with you. But you don't ever in your life, ever, hear me very clearly, Josh, ever speak to your partner that way. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. You never do it, right? Now, yours is slightly different from Frankie's because Frankie was telling her to be quiet, don't talk. Basically, just when I talk, don't talk, right? In your situation, I can see what you were trying to do, but I'm telling you, you never do it that way, right? I understand you're trying to defend your reputation and you didn't want her to speak, and I get it, that you felt like she was going to get too emotional, that she wouldn't actually hit the point that you were trying to hit. I feel you, but telling her to shut the F up was wrong. I'd rather you have done what you did at the end, which was said, hey, I don't know who you're talking, I think you're talking to, you might have been Tyre or one other girls. Oh, please take her away. Alexis, I think you told Alexis, please take her away. Yeah? Right? Please take her away. That would have been more acceptable. But to tell her to STFU is madness. You never said to your partner. Right? Don't ever, listen be careful, people on this live. Never, ever, ever in your life dream, think, breathe that you ever use such terms in your partner. It's destructive and it's emotionally destroying to your partner to say some words like that. Those words are never reserved for the one that you love. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right, cool. But moving on from that point, Amy was trying to interrupt and trying to get her 2 pence in. And this is what I said, Amy, why didn't you choose the time to speak to her when you had no chance for one-to-one? Why didn't you pull her aside and snatch her wig then? But you waited till when Josh is already doing it to try and join in. And I was like, there was no need because Josh was handling it. And I know the way that Josh wants to handle it a certain particular type of way, right? Because he's trying to box Morag in. That's what Josh's whole mindset was. I want to box Morag into admitting why she said what she said. Do you get what I'm saying, right? And the way that Morag got annoyed about the fact that he didn't remember her made me suspect. I said, Morag, why are you getting frustrated about the fact he doesn't remember you? Why are you getting frustrated about the fact that he doesn't remember your name or who or when he messaged you? Especially when you made a comment that he DM'd you and 100 other girls. How would he remember you when he DM'd 100 other girls? And why would you want him to remember you? He DM'd you and 100 other girls, you said. So why would you want him to remember you? I want you to deep that, Okay, I want you to deep that, darling, because that goes deeper because you're feeling some type of way because you want him to feel special. Okay, and now he doesn't remember you. You feel unspecial, right? Now, like I said, I think you like Josh a little bit, right? He's your type, isn't it? Right? He's your kind of type, isn't it? Physical build, strength, a little bit emotionally checked out. He's your type, right? The kind of guy that you like. But now he's saying to you, he didn't rock with you, and it hurts to be rejected by the one that you actually like, or by a type or preference that you like, isn't it? It hurts to have that rejection. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Now, Morag blatantly lied. Okay, because they asked her a very specific question. Morag, listen to me very clearly. We don't play with this Karen tears. Okay, I weren't buying it. All the little Karen tears you had on yourself when you were lying. Okay, listen here. Morag got asked a question about if she had her own type come across in the DMs, what would she do? And she said, oh, she would talk to that person, right? If they were outside of the show. They asked her again, right? And she lied on the spot, right? She said, oh no, I didn't say that. That's not what I was saying. You're lying. It's not a good look, darling. It's not a good look. Okay? It's not a good look. Okay? And then you want to add the whole Karen tears to it. It's not a good look. Darling, we're not buying those tears. Okay? I don't buy those tears. Those are the same tears my little sisters will be using when you tell them off. I'm not buying it. Okay? All right? Own your crap. You lied. All right? And you lied because you know you don't want to hurt Luke's feelings, but you ain't feeling him, sis. You ain't. Okay? All right? You ain't feeling him. So you saying that you getting annoyed about the fact he doesn't remember you is problematic. You were triggered in that moment. Morag needs healing. Morag needs therapy. Morag needs counseling. Okay? Because there is no need for you to drop that bar in there at any time. None at all. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Right? So for me, Josh handled the end part correctly in terms of dealing with Morag. He exposed her. Okay? And as he was leaving, was getting way too frustrated because I think he sees a Nikita in Morag. So he was triggered. My thing on the end of my ending note is, you know, I want to say this. I totally understand where Josh is coming from, but you need to learn how to address your partner, number one. Number two, you need to learn how to be emotionally available. You're suffering there, and that may need some counseling. Number three, I think Amy is not satisfied with the relationship with Josh, but she's trying to make it work, and it's gonna be tough to make it work. I don't think he's fully invested the way he needs to be. Ant and Alexis, that's done off. Unless Ant can turn it around and actually start being intimate, and I'm not just talking about sexing, again, just showing affection, showing that you want her. Brother, how can you sleep in the same bed and not be touching? That's a madness. Even me, with my Christian spirit, would have touched. It's going to be honest with you. That's why, Lord, that's why I know that I can't be in them beds, okay? Because I would have touched, okay? If I'm in a bed, I would have touched. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, brother, so yeah, all right? You know, Bob and Megan, they're done out. They're finished. And, yeah, you know, let me just say, you know, it's been an interesting episode. And I appreciate the drama that we're getting. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for tomorrow's episode. We're going to be back here again after the show ends, around about 10:30 for you guys. We'll be back here again. If you want to have your say tomorrow, just send us a request on Instagram Live. Guys, make sure you have a lovely day. You already know what it is, baby. Little black book, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Yeah, yes. Oh,